quick heads up before we dive in. If you enjoy breakdowns like this, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Alright, let's get into it. At first glance, the Toronto Raptors look like a team still finding itself. Early in the season, they were shaky, inconsistent, and a step slow in several phases of the game. Fast forward to now, and the narrative has flipped. The Raptors have rediscovered a rhythm, with a clear identity taking shape under head coach Darko Rajaković. His emphasis on ball movement and a less isolation-heavy approach has transformed the offense into a more dynamic, free-flowing unit, and the results are showing up in the box score. Right now, the team sits near the top of the league in passes and assists per game. They also rank well in assist points created, lead the NBA in assist to turnover ratio, and are inside the top 10 in offensive rating. Perhaps the most surprising development is the team's jump in three-point accuracy, a climb into the top 10 by percentage, a marked improvement from the bottom-tier finishes of recent years. Whatever the long-term outlook, what's clear is that Toronto is producing better looks than they were early on. At the center of the turnaround is Scotty Barnes. He's experiencing a noticeable leap from long range this season. Higher volume, but more importantly, more efficient looks. That improvement has as much to do with better decision making as it does with mechanics. Barnes has packed away the inefficient, contested pull-up threes that plagued him in the past, and instead is getting the majority of his attempts as catch and shoot opportunities. Higher quality shots that play to his strengths. But the story isn't just that he's shooting threes more often. He's becoming a more complete version of himself. Barnes has long been praised for his versatility. This season, that versatility is manifesting in a fuller, more impactful way. He's contributing across the board on both ends of the floor and doing things that change how opponents game plan for Toronto. One area he's improved markedly is transition. Last season, Barnes was oddly inefficient in early offense. This year, he's been far more decisive and productive in those situations, generating strong points per possession when the team gets out in the open. Defensively, he's a force. Among the team leaders in deflections, blocks, and steals, showing instincts that make him look like a legitimate all-defensive candidate. He's using a long wingspan to cover multiple matchups, play solid help defense, and even act as an underrated rim protector at times. A number of recent games saw him deliver multiple steals during stretches when Toronto needed defensive stops, and those takeaways have directly led to transition offense for the squad. When the coaching staff simplifies his role, let Scotty operate off catch and shoots, slip and roll screens, attack downhill when the lane opens, and take properly selected threes, he becomes a huge positive on both ends. He's also proven adaptable, meshing well alongside new pieces and veterans alike. Speaking of new pieces, the addition of Brandon Ingram via the 2025 trade deadline was framed as a swing for higher level scoring and playmaking, and so far he's delivered on that promise. Ingram's presence gives the Raptors an accomplished half-court creator, someone who can isolate, create his own looks, and pull defenses out of shape. He's been reliable in the mid-range and on pull-up two-point shots, using craft and footwork to get space for difficult finishes, including the fadeaway finishes that have become a signature. His three-point stroke has been a bit streaky early on, but his overall decision-making in the half-court and his ability to make quick reads have elevated Toronto's offense in static sets. Add to that an active, engaged defensive effort, and you can see why the front office valued him. RJ Barrett is another reason for optimism. This season, he's been a cleaner finisher, especially around the rim and in the in-between game. There's been a visible improvement at the free throw line after a rough mark last season, and prior to one particularly bad outing, he was knocking down threes at a clip that suggested real progress. That bad night felt like an outlier amid a stretch that otherwise showed better shot selection and more consistent scoring. Barrett still has areas to polish, and some consistency questions remain, but his early season form has been encouraging and useful for Toronto's offensive balance. Immanuel Quickley has had a narrative of being overpaid floating around, with skeptics questioning whether he could be an effective starting level point guard for a team with playoff aspirations. He started the season underwhelming, inefficient shooting and a slump from deep, but he's heated up recently, showing the scoring and three-point reliability that make him valuable. When Quickley is hitting pull-ups, navigating pick and rolls crisply, and making fast reads, his offensive impact is clear. His ability to spread the floor and operate in pick and roll actions has been a big reason the offense looks more lively. Beyond the big names, Toronto has benefited from role players stepping up. Rookie Culinary Boyles, despite expectations that he'd be more than a bench spark, has flashed the kind of defensive versatility the Raptors covet. At 6'7", with length, he's defended multiple positions, generated steals and blocks, and produced efficient scoring numbers relative to other rookies. Grady Dick has been an outside scoring option, hitting his looks, and easing defensive pressure on the primary creators. The front court shooters have given spacing, which helps the ball screen actions and driving lanes. Yaga Purley started slowly in nursing some back issues, but had a breakout performance against Cleveland, pouring in 20 points with 7 rebounds and showing what he can offer when healthy. Even Jamal Sheed has given dependable minutes as a secondary ball handler off off the bench. At the time of this recording, the Raptors are riding a 2-game winning streak that includes a tough road victory in Cleveland. That result, and the way they played in stretches of those games, feels night and day compared to the losses at the beginning of the season. But in fairness, this rebound shouldn't be a surprise. You don't construct a roster around the likes of Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes, nor invest heavily in players like RJ and Quickley and expect to remain middling. There's enough talent here for Toronto to be competitive in the East, and when the team clicks, it's an exciting group to watch. Looking ahead, my read is that the Raptors are a playoff team by season's end. Whether they're a true contender depends on several factors: health, consistency from the rotation players, and whether the three-point shooting can remain sustained rather than a temporary spike. If the ball movement and assist to turnover efficiency stay high, and if the defense continues to generate transition chances off steals and deflections, Toronto has the building blocks to make noise. A few tactical notes are worth emphasizing. First, continued emphasis on ball movement keeps high usage players in rhythm without forcing isolation. When Ingram and Barnes can coexist as complementary creators rather than clogging the same spaces, the offense hums. Second, the improvement in three-point percentage must be sustained by good shot selection. The current uptick looks legitimate because it's accompanied by better spacing, movement, and fewer contested pull-ups. Third, defensive versatility will determine playoff success. The Raptors' ability to switch, close out on shooters, and create turnovers is already influencing games, but against elite offenses, rim protection and consistent defensive rotations are the next frontier. On a personal note, I love the electricity of a playoff Raptors crowd. That Jurassic Park atmosphere where fans pour into the streets to watch the action. It's part of what makes Toronto basketball special, and I can't wait to see the city light up if this team gets into postseason form. So I want to hear from you. How far do you think this Raptors roster can go in the East? Can they legitimately challenge the top teams, or are they more likely a dangerous first round matchup? What are your predictions for Scotty Barnes? All NBA team, all defensive team, both, or neither? And who has surprised you most so far this season? The rookie contributors, a bench spark, or one of the established starters? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Before we wrap up, a couple of quick notes. 1. The coaching staff deserves credit for instilling a clear offensive identity. Less hero ball, more ball movement, more efficient shot selection. 2. The blend of youth and experienced scorers gives Toronto an interesting ceiling. If they continue improving defensively while hitting open shots, they'll be tough to beat in any single game. Finally, small sample sizes can be misleading, so I'll be watching how the team sustains these trends over a longer stretch. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please leave a like, subscribe for more Raptors and NBA content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.